Hello guys, welcome to PlaybookFX. In this video, we'll be discussing risk entry and confirmation entry. If this is the kind of content you would love to see more often on this channel, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on notification bell so as when I release a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Without saying too much, please let's get right into the video. Now, depending on the kind of strategy you trade, be it breaker block, flip zone, mitigation block, other blocks, stuffs like that, or even support and resistance and break and retest, whichever strategy you trade, there is always a point of interest where you are interested in taking trade from. It may be on higher time frame or even medium time frames. Some traders pick their POI on higher time frame and then look for confirmation on lower time frame, while some traders pick their POI on lower time frame and then as well look for confirmation on lower time frame. Whichever way is convenient for you, it is fine, as long as you understand market structure and liquidity, you should be fine. Now, what do I mean by risk entry? Let's take, for instance, we have structure like this and we have something like this as well. Price kept pushing to the downside like this. Let me stop here. So let's take, for instance, we have structure like this and I have my POI here that I'm looking to take trade off from. I have this as my inducement and I'm looking to buy from here. Risk entry will be like me putting my limit order here and waiting for price to come to this area, mitigate this zone, and then start buying. Now, for confirmation entry will be when I wait for price to get to this zone, then give me some kind of reaction, then I'll look to engage from here. That is confirmation entry. Now, risk entry and confirmation entry both have their disadvantage and advantage. Now, for risk entry, you will engage in more trade. You will take more trade than you waiting for confirmation. And the reason why I say this is because price may tag this zone, then continue buying without giving you confirmation. Now, let me illustrate my confirmation in this scenario. When price tagged into this zone, I'm waiting for a supply to fill like this, giving me this flip zone and then printing an inducement close to my flip zone like this. So I'll be expecting price to come back to this zone here like this. I'll be expecting price to retrace back to this zone, then continue buying to the upside. In some scenario, price will not print the type of confirmation I'm looking for to engage in a trade. Price may just tap into this zone and then continue buying aggressively without retracing or giving me confirmation to engage. If you are taking risk entry, that means you'll be engaging into the trade directly from here without waiting for any confirmation. So you will be engaging in more trade than traders that are waiting for confirmation entry. Another disadvantage for risk entry is you will get stopped out many times because price may just come to this zone, react a little bit, then fail to hold this level. So you get stopped out most of the time, unlike traders that wait for confirmation before engaging in any trade. So what I'm trying to say is that your win rate will be lesser than those that wait for confirmation entry. Another advantage to confirmation entry is that most of the time price will give you a lower risk to a higher reward setup. So what I mean by this is that, let's take for example that this is 15-minute point of interest. So I waited for price to come to my point of interest here. So when price get to my point of interest, I waited for that confirmation on lower time frame. What you will notice is that most of the time the 15-minute point of interest would give you a bigger stop loss. But if you are looking for confirmation entry on 5 minutes, you realize that the candle you'll be selecting for your entry or as a lower time frame point of interest will be smaller So 15-minute time frame may be giving you like 30 pips, 40 pips stop loss, and when you get to 5 minutes to pick your point of interest, you'll be seeing like 10 pips, 15 pips, like that. So you'll be risking lesser stop loss for higher reward, because your profit target will still be that 15-minute draw on liquidity or 15-minute external range liquidity. If you ask me to choose between confirmation entry or risk entry, which one will I prefer? I will say confirmation entry, because confirmation entry has higher win rate than risk entry. Fine, you are going to miss entries. If you are waiting for confirmation entry, you are going to miss, but waiting for confirmation entry is far more better than risk entry. Let me show you one or two examples of confirmation entry and risk entry like that. This is gold on 5 minutes. If you look at structure here on gold, you will notice that price swept liquidity here, then broke structure. Looking at this structure here, if I'm to pick my point of interest, where will I pick? I'll pick this area. Why is because when price was pushing to the downside here, this was the last area that price reacted to. Fine, you may be looking at it like price has already mitigated this sell to buy candle, but this was actually the candle that mitigated this zone, and this was the candle that led to this change of character. When price was pushing to the downside here, this buy candle with this long wick was the candle that engineered this move that led to this change of character. So if we refine our candle to this area, and if you go to like 3 minutes, you will see that there is actually a gap here that price may actually come back to fill. So risk entry will be me looking for direct entry from here. Let's say for instance, this is my POI here. Risk entry will be me waiting for price to come back directly to this zone and me engaging into the buy directly like this. If you are not sure if price is going to respect this zone or not, why not wait for price to give you some kind of a POI again? That will be like confirmation before you engage. And if we should look at it, price came back to this breaker block here. You will notice that when price was pushing to the downside, this zone here was that area that price was supposed to respect and continue pushing to the downside. If price was supposed to respect this bearish move, price was supposed to respect it from here. So price failed to respect this zone, violated it aggressively, then leaving us with a breaker block, and this was the liquidity that price came to target. So this is like a confirmation entry. You can engage from here. As a risk entry, or you can wait for price coming back. Now, it is not necessary that your POI from confirmation entry has to be a breaker block. It is not necessary. It can be a flip zone, it can be another block. What you need to understand is market structure. If you understand market structure, you should be able to identify your POI on higher time frame. Your POI can be on the same time frame. It can be on 15 minutes. You can pick your POI on 15 minutes and still get your confirmation on 15 minutes. You can pick your POI on 15 minutes and get your confirmation on 5 minutes. You can also pick your POI on 5 minutes and get your confirmation on 5 minutes as well. Another example is this. So this is good on 5 minutes as well. Here we had a break of structure signifying that price is bearish. Yeah. Looking at it, if we had this zone, this level here, and this was the flip zone that I was expecting price to come back to. Now price did not get to that zone. Instead, price reacted from this zone. And if we should zoom in very well, you'll see that okay, we had this sweep of liquidity, break of structure, and after price broke structure there, this low becomes a protected low, and it also even mitigates here. So this should be a protected low. I'll be expecting price to respect this level here. Now, looking at the reaction we have here, if I should go to 3 minutes, it is very obvious on 3 minutes. So we had this reaction before price failed this zone. If you look at it, this candle also swept liquidity before taking out this low. Now this area here, this area becomes my flip zone, and this will be the inducement. This candle, this hammer candle, will be the inducement. This is a confirmation that price wants to sell. Remember, market was bearish here. When price got to this level, price gave me a change of character, which is this one. Price took out this protected low, giving us a change of character, and I'll be expecting price to come back to this zone. You see, price did not come to that zone immediately, but if we should stretch it further, I took this trade, price came back to this zone. This was 5 minutes, so I got this POI on Wednesday, and price came back to that zone on Thursday. Even though price played around a while, price still eventually sold to the downside. If you look at it, this was the area I was expecting price to come back to here. This was the area I was expecting price to come back to initially, but price then gave me a reaction at this zone instead. If I'm the type of trader that takes risk entry, I will have missed on this because I'll be expecting price to come to this level. But price reacting from this zone indicates that price wants to reverse. Price gave me the indication that it wants to reverse, and then give me a setup for confirmation entry. I will not want to bore you with too much talk. If you are someone that take direct entry, like you take risk entry and you're taking losses frequently, I want you to consider confirmation entry. The easiest way to do it is for you to pick your POI on higher time frame and then go to smaller time frame and look for maybe flip zone or breaker block confirmation setup on lower time frame. Then you wait for price to come back to that level as your confirmation to engage in the trade. If you are taking risk entry and whenever you set your limit here, price will just blast through your entry every time. So you may consider waiting for price to give you that confirmation before engaging. So with that, you will be able to reduce your losses and maximize your wins. So, and you'll be able to reduce the amount of pips that you set for your stop loss. And by reducing your stop loss, you are adding more to your reward. So go to your chart and backtest it. Sometimes I'll take risk entry, but most of the time confirmation entry works a lot for me. Whenever I take risk entry, I take a lot of losses. Just go to your chart and backtest everything, and you see for yourself which one works better the most. Pick your POI on higher time frame and then wait for price to get to that POI. When price get to that POI, wait for a change of character or a switch of market structure on lower time frame, and then look for another setup, maybe a flip zone or breaker block. Look for that setup on lower time frame, then engage. The only thing you need is patience and consistency. If you are consistent with your strategy, you will go a long way. This is where we'll draw the curtain on today's episode. If you like this content and you like to see more, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on notification bell so as to when I release a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Also, if you like to join my Telegram community where I share tips and where I also journal my trade, win, losses, break even, miss trade, I journal everything in my Telegram group. So the link will be in the description. If you like to join, feel free to join. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you and have a good day.